Hi guys, welcome. Spring is on its full glory right now. It started a couple of weeks ago and there's a beautiful sun outside. Flowers are blooming, there's little birds chirping outside, and I hate this weather so much. I am not really a big fan of sunny weather. I don't like it, but what can I do? But anyways, with spring, I always think of freshness and just, I don't know, like not too hot, even though it's really hot right now. But not too hot, kind of fresh, just a good feeling in general, you know, to be happy. So I have looked through my shelves and gathered a couple of books that I think would be great for spring. I will be showing them to you really quickly as to not make this really draggy video. I tried to get books from different genres so that you can have a wide variety. I got books from various different genres, so hopefully you'll find something that you like and that you're interested in. And without further ado, here's my spring recommendations. For those of you who are in the mood of really like spring-themed books, I have for you Sarah Dessen. Many of her stories take place during the summer, and here are a few that I think would be great for spring. Starting with Lock and Key, This Lullaby, and To the Truth About Forever, which is one of my favorites of hers. She writes beautiful contemporary stories that go way deeper than meets the eye. I mean, you might think that they are kind of really fluffy reads, but they're not. They go really deep, and they always center around important subjects like family and self-discovery. So Sarah Dessen is just great for this season. Next up I have Sarah Ockler. Sarah Ockler is one of my all-time favorite authors. She also writes many books that take place during the summer. Her stories tend to be a bit darker, also go around subjects of family, self-discovery, and falling in love. And I just think that Bittersweet and Fixing Delilah are great for this particular season. Now, if you don't read that much or you're not that into reading, which I think it's kind of, I don't know, it would be weird because you're in a booktube channel, but I don't know. Just in case you're not much of an avid reader and would like to find something fun and good, I will go with Jennifer Eccles, especially Going Too Far. Every time someone comes and asks me what can I recommend to them and they're not much of avid readers themselves, I always give them Going Too Far. It's my go-to book, and I am so happy to say that so far every single person that I've recommended this to has loved it. I'm talking about boys and girls. I know that it looks kind of romantic-y, and even though the story is told from the point of view of a woman, I don't think it means that it's any less for men. It's a beautiful story. It goes really deep into certain issues. Cannot tell because of spoilers, but it is a great book that I just recommend to absolutely everyone, and it's also really short. In general, Jennifer Eccles is such a great author, so I invite you to discover some of her work. And I also have First Comes Love by Kacvinsky. I loved this book so much. Now, the cover makes it look like some sort of epic romance, Romeo and Juliet type of thing. It's not. It is a love story, and it is told by the perspective of the guy, and it's just a great story. I think it's perfect for boys and girls in general, even if the story looks kind of epic-y romance. It's a beautiful cover. I just don't think it really shows what the book is about. It's just a really fresh take on the whole romance thing. I have a full review for it on Goodreads. If you would like to check it out, I recommend this book to you so much, and it's really short, so I highly recommend it. It's so great. Now, for those of you who would like something a bit more mysterious, I will go with We Were Liars by Lockhart. There is a big chance that most of you already read this, but if you haven't, you should read it. It takes place during the summer, but I feel like it works really well right now. It's just a great book to read by the window with a little bit of sunlight streaming in, lemonade beside you, and just allow yourself to lose completely, to lose yourself in this story. It's just great. And the plot twist is fantastic, so yeah. For those of you wanting something a little bit more magical and a retelling, I have Entwined by Heather Dixon, which is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and I loved this book. It was so magical, so beautiful, such a great, truthful adaptation, I think, and it was just so fun, and there was action, and it has everything, and it's just a perfect fairy tale. But if you like a little bit more kick in your retellings, I will suggest going for the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Mayer. I don't have the first book, which is Cinder, but I have Scarlet, and I loved Scarlet. I already read Cinder, I just don't have it. But they are great retellings, so action-packed, and there's just a lot of badassery going on, so if you want a little bit more kick in your retellings, this is for you. If you want something a little bit more classical or a book-to-movie adaptations, I will go with Pride and Prejudice because it's a great classic, and if you don't have much time to read, you can always go for the movie. Because the movie is great, even with everything that's been changed. I just think it's a great movie. So get the popcorn ready and just holla with Pride and Prejudice. Now if you would like to read some new adult, I will firstly recommend Colleen Hoover books. Here I have Maybe Someday, Losing Hope, and Ugly Love. Ugly Love is actually an adult novel, if I am not mistaken, but I freaking love Colleen Hoover. She's the queen of contemporary new adult books, queen. I would suggest starting with Slammed, which is her debut novel. If you've not read it, I think it's a great way to be introduced into Colleen Hoover because her stories seem to get darker and darker by the time she publishes a new one. It's just darker than the next one. So I feel like Slammed is just a great way to start. And then I would say maybe go for Maybe Someday, which also has a soundtrack included. There's a little code bar thingy that you scan with your phony thingy and it gives you a soundtrack. Yeah. I personally have not read this one yet, but I will be reading it during the springtime, so I think it would be a great book. And last on the new adult area of things, I have Easy by Tammara Weber. I loved this book so much. It's about a girl in college and there's darky subjects going on and stuff, and it's just things are not as easy as they seem. Or as they should be. They should have been. Life is never easy. It's one of my favorite new adult books and I just have a big love for this one. I really have feelings for it. Now if you're looking for something around the middle grade area of books, I have The Girl Who Circumnavigated. I can't say it. Now if you would like a middle grade book, I will suggest The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherynne Valente. I nailed that pronunciation. It reminds me so much of Alice in Wonderland, and if you have like kids, you can totally read this to them and they will love it. And I just think it's one of those books that it's like a good wine. It gets better with time because as you get older, you can appreciate all the metaphors. Like, I don't know, I feel like certain things a kid may not be able to appreciate but still love. So if you're older, like, you will see all the magic, and if your kids are young, when they're older, they can reread it and see all the magic. It's just like Alice in Wonderland. I strongly recommend this. Now the next books I will be showing you I've not read myself, but I want to read them during this season, so I thought I would share. So for those of us who want something a little bit more in the adult category area of things, I have B.E. Schwab, which are both books that I will be reading soon. Should be starting soon. Should have already started this book by the time this video is up. If you're not reading this, you're not doing well. You're not doing well. But I just feel in the mood of some badassery and kick-ass stuff, but still just a good time to read with sunlight streaming in through the window, and I don't know, these two. There's anti-heroes on one end and magic on the other, so make your pick. Now if you want something a little bit more on the epic fantasy spectrum of things, I've been really into epic fantasy lately. It's no surprise to you. None, not at all. You probably already guessed it, it's Brandon Sanderson. There's of course his Mistborn trilogy, which everyone's been talking about, but I haven't seen that many people getting into the Stormlight archive series because they're massive, guaranteed, but I just feel like they're great for spring and summer. I don't know why these are calling me right now. It's the sun. There's something in it that just makes me want to go off into battle. Not really. Not really. It makes me want to read about epic battles and contemporary, and Brandon Sanderson is great in that area, so these two. And last I have something that I think couldn't have missed in here, and that I've been receiving a lot of pressure to read, and I will be reading it this season. Do not worry. Of course I have Rainbow Rowell. I think they work also really well for summer, but for some reason I just feel like the Lunar Park specifically goes well with just this fresh weather. It has to do with the cover, probably. But yes, I finally have Fangirl in my hands with a dust jacket. So that's these two. If you've read them, let me know in the comment section. I'm sure that you loved them because everyone says they're great. I am ready to get on board the Lunar Park train of things. And that's it. Those were my spring recommendations for you. I really do hope that you found something that you hadn't heard of yet, hadn't thought of for spring, something of a genre that you wanted to see a book from. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you have spring recommendations that I did not mention, put them in the comment section down below. Go and do that so that others can see some other great spring recommendations and that we can read them and love them and share them, and some recommendations for me. Yeah. Sharing is caring, and when it comes to books, sharing is double the caring and the loving. So
I just feel kind of cray right now, and I think it's because it's hot. It's just really hot. Like, it's boiling in here. It is so hot, and I cannot open the window because noise comes in and the camera picks it up, so it's hot, and I feel like I'm losing my damn mind. Wow, this was an adventure. I sound like a crazy person. Bye!
Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye. Trying to take a selfie with the cat, and I'm putting my life at risk. Are you getting out your claws? Your claws are out. Why are there claws around? Why? You're going to scratch me in the face? Is that what you're trying to do? To scratch mommy in the face? Yes, you are. He's so handsome. He's so handsome. You're so handsome. He's so handsome. Okay. Oh, I have hairs. I know that